In this video I'm going to show you how to use Kickstart 2 and why I believe it's the best plugin for you to be using for your sidechain in your tracks. Now if you don't know what sidechain does, all it does is simply duck the bass every time the kick drum plays. So first of all we need to apply some sidechain to our bass. So step one, all we're going to be doing is adding Kickstart 2 to our bass channel. So I've got a kick here, let's play it. And this kick is going into my kick group here, so channel 16. And then I've got a bass, let's play the bass. And this bass is in channel 21. So all we're going to do is find a slot and add Kickstart 2. And then for step 2, we want to pick a preset that fits nicely with our kick and bass. So let's do that now. So we've got a kick drum playing every beat here, and then I'll kickstart on the beat setting, which is this one. So if we just turn this off, you'll see that the kickstart is still working even when the kick drum isn't playing. So we can pick our setting up here, depending on how often our kick drum's playing. And if your kick drum is off beat, we'll get into audio triggering later on. But for now, let's just focus on the preset. So we want it on quarter beat, so every beat. And then if we zoom in on here, we can see our kick drum hitting around about here. So let's pick. So you can refine this later on when you've added more drums, so you can feel the groove of your track. But just as a starting point, we can move this around. So we can aim for around where the kick finishes. For example there. And then if we want to do fine tuning, we can move the curve like this. Very fine tuning, moving it. And do it this way as well. And then for bigger movements, you can do like this. And then you've got all these different presets along the bottom to choose from. And this also means you can get creative with things. So for example, I could choose this, 1/1/8, to try and make cool melodic styles if you want to get creative, but let's just stick with the basic for now. So something like that sounds great. So once you've chosen your preset and you've got the line set up with your kick, so it's ducking all of this area here, every beat so far, we can then set the mix level, which is step 3, so set the mix amount. So when it's on 100%, you're doing maximum sidechain, so all this is getting ducked, and if we reduce this, it essentially just means this line here gets a little bit higher. So I could reduce it all the way here, and then the line just goes straight. It's not doing anything. And then the more I add it in, so it's really up to you. So what I recommend you do is leave it on 100% for now, and then when you've got the rest of your tune in, you can then put it on like 0 and then slowly bring it in and find what mix level works for your track. So when all the percussion and vocal elements and other bits are in your track, then move it up. So just leave it on 100 for now if this is the first thing you're doing. And then there's also step 4, which is changing the band amount down here. So what essentially this means is when you turn this on, anything below this hertz range now is the only bit that will get sidechained. So if I have this and I boost it to 500 hertz, it will sidechain everything below 500 hertz in your bass sound and won't sidechain anything above 500 hertz. You can hear that. And the higher I move it up, the more that gets sidechained. So this is if you want to do really fine tuning sidechain. So let's say you have a bass and you just want to sidechain like the sub and that's it. Or an 808 sound, for example. So you could go to like here and then just be like. Now only the bass is sidechained. But most of the time you want to leave this off. Again, it depends on your track. So once you've got everything set up, and then step 5 is the audio triggering, which is for tracks that have kicks that are off beat. So if you're making like house or bass music or anything with a kick drum that hits 4x4, so like this one here, every beat, then this is perfect. But if you're making like drum and bass or garage or anything that has a kick off beat, so like this, if this was drum and bass, let's boost up the BPM and then let's put this kick drum off beat. Like this. Now you'll hear currently the kickstart is still matching to the beat, so it's hitting every beat. So we can actually change this so it hits every time the kick drum hits. But to do that, we need to route it to that kick drum. So the first thing you want to do is come to audio here and just click it. And now that's done. And now you want to come to the mix down here and find where your kick drum is. So mine is on channel 16. And then all we do is go back to the bass here, right click, sidechain to this track. And then we come back to the bass, go to Kickstart 2, go to this little cogwheel here, and then go to this another cogwheel with another thing attached to it. Go to processing. And now if you come to this sidechain channel here, right click, it should show the channel that you did the sidechain to this track to. So the kick group channel 16 is showing here. Simply click that and now it's routed. Now we go back to Kickstart, and if we press play, the sidechain will happen every time a kick plays, no matter where the kick is. So let's click play. You can hear it happening every time the kick plays. And no matter where I add a kick now, it will always happen. And if you want to do this on Ableton, it's even simpler. So we've got this playing here. And at the moment, I've got the kick playing in random places, but Kickstart 2 is just playing in sync. So it's not following where the kick drum is, as you can hear. So all we do is click audio and come to the sidechain channel down here. And then you find where your kick drum is. So mine is in my kick group. And now it's synced. I'll play it again. Every time the kick plays, the bass is ducked. So I recommend setting up this channel regardless of what genre you're making. Because even in like bass and house, you might add some kicks in the transition phase that are offbeat. And you might want it to duck your bass there. So it's a good idea to just set this up on all your tracks. So I hope this helped. If it did, please leave a like, it really helps out the channel, and leave a comment as well. And make sure to check out my website as well. There's some coaching and sample packs to get your hands on. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.